Machiavelli taught that before a man can command others, he must first master the obedience he owes himself. He insisted that one must slay the timid hound of self-doubt and deference, for only by destroying the dog's craving for safety does the true wolf arise. This wolf, unbound by fear, wields sovereign will and bends fortune to its purpose. In forging this inner dominion, every act of calculated risk becomes a proclamation of power, and every moment of hesitation is cast aside in service of relentless ambition. The chains you feel around your ankles are not made of iron. They're forged from habit, obedience, and the silent consent of your own mind. They tell you to stay in line, to wait your turn, to accept the scraps tossed your way. They sell you the comforting lie that if you follow every rule, tick every box, you'll one day earn your place at the table. But the world doesn't reward compliance, it devours it. The meek inherit nothing. The meek remain forgotten. Picture the wolf at dawn, muscles coiled, senses sharpened, every breath a measured assessment of prey, danger, opportunity. He does not beg, he does not plead. He moves in silence, strikes with precision, then melts back into the shadows. Unaccountable, unstoppable. In his world, there are no guarantees. There is only the bone you seize, the territory you claim, the legacy you carve with every drop of calculated risk. Contrast that with the house dog, collars snug around the neck, eyes fixed on the master's hand, tail wagging in hope. He is fed, he is sheltered, he is loved, but he cannot taste freedom, for he has never truly known it. His boundaries are drawn by another, his purpose defined by another. And when the owner's favor fades, he roams the yard listless, wondering why the food bowl goes empty. Now ask yourself, which creature are you? The obedient dog, safe in your pen, or the wolf, free on savage ground? The answer is buried beneath the layers of comfort you cling to. Every excuse you entertain, every second you wait for permission, is another link in the chain. But chains break, fences shatter, and within you lies a force that neither steel nor routine can contain. If you dare to unleash it, here's the blunt truth. The system doesn't care about your dreams. It wasn't built to nurture you, it was built to extract from you. Your labor, your creativity, your very being is currency. And currency only has value when you remain compliant. So they teach you patience, celebrate your humility, applaud your politeness. They assure you that if you keep grinding, keep waiting, the world will recognize your worth. But recognition is reserved for the bold, the ruthless, the wolves who refuse to beg for scraps. You've been conditioned to believe that effort equals results. Yet effort without strategy is a hamster wheel. You run, you sweat, you accomplish tasks, but the gap between you and the prize never closes. The wolves know this. They know that what matters is not how hard you work, but how you position yourself to strike. They don't count hours, they count outcomes. They don't follow maps, they draw their own. Imagine dedicating a decade to climbing the corporate ladder, memorizing protocols, acing every review, pleasing every superior, only to watch someone with half your tenure, half your qualifications, snatch the promotion with audacious flair. Why? Because action trumps obedience. Because the world elevates those who move first, who dare, who refuse to wait. That's the lesson you're too polite to learn. Patience without aggression is surrender. Every moment you hesitate, someone else seizes the prize you coveted. Every moment you beg for permission is another moment lost. So abandon the plea. Abandon the petition. Walk through the walls you were told were impenetrable. But there's more. The system needs you frozen. It needs your fear to keep you small. It programs you to measure risk by the possibility of failure, rather than by the greater failure of inaction. It floods your mind with what-ifs, maybe-laters, and not-yets. Meanwhile, the wolves out there, untethered, unbeaten, rewrite the rules of engagement. build empires from dust, and plant their flags on uncharted ground. Ask yourself, when was the last time you felt truly unleashed? When was the last time you rejected the script handed to you and wrote your own? When did you last stand so far outside your comfort zone that the air felt electric, every nerve cell firing with potential? Comfort is a lie. Comfort is the soft dirt on which you lie down and never rise again. True power is forged in discomfort, in chaos, in the unknown. It is earned in the storms, not in the calm. It is found where most refuse to go. So, picture yourself at the edge of your own world. On one side, the well-worn pastures of safety, predictability, and measured approval. On the other, the open wilderness, dark and dangerous, but alive with possibility. The dog hesitates at the fence, paw raised, nose quivering. The wolf leaps. Which are you? If you choose to leap, you must embrace that nothing will be handed to you. You will gather nothing but what you take. Every alliance must be strategic. Every move must serve your ascent. Every defeat must fuel your reinvention. You will learn to see opportunity in threat, to smell advantage in adversity. Because the wolf knows this immutable law, only those who risk everything will ever truly gain anything. The meek may wish for a taste of power, but only the wolf will feast. By now you know the landscape, a world designed to cage your potential, seasoned in routines that render ambition inert. Now, we'll breach the mental fortress erected around your psyche. Dismantle it brick by brick, until you're forced to face your rawest instincts. Let's start with comfort. Comfort is the sweet poison that numbs your will. It masquerades as relief, but in truth, it's a silent assassin. Every time you choose the predictable path, sleeping in 5 extra minutes, scrolling social feeds instead of strategizing, accepting the minimum viable effort, you are walling yourself into mediocrity. But real growth demands discomfort. It demands you stand barefoot on jagged rocks, that you invite uncertainty to dinner, that you court chaos until it becomes your ally rather than your enemy. Consider the wolf's education. He doesn't lounge in plush dens, he masters the hunt through trial by fire. His classroom is the wild, rain-soaked plains, snow-choked valleys, deserts that burn like molten iron. Every misstep costs him blood. Yet with each scar, his instincts sharpen, his intuition crystallizes. The house dog may yelp at the cold, whimper at the drought, but the wolf thrives. Because every hardship is an upgrade, a firmware patch that refines his edges for the kill. So ask yourself, do you run from hardship or run toward it? Do you cower at the first sign of friction or lean into the grind until it breaks you, and then rebuild yourself stronger? Mediocrity fears friction. Excellence embraces it. Next, let's obliterate the myth of balance. Work-life balance, they chant, as if life can be neatly parceled into compartments, labeled career, family, self, and leisure. Bullshit. Real power demands total immersion. When you're building an empire, you don't clock out. You don't politely carve out weekends for idle hobbies. You integrate your vision into every waking moment. Your relationships, your meals, your sleep patterns. They all orbit around the gravity of your purpose. The wolf doesn't take half days. He doesn't ration focus. He hunts relentlessly until the quarry falls, then rests, briefly, before scouting the next target. You are not a 9-to-5 drone. You are a predator programmed for impact. If you compartmentalize focus, you dilute it. If you fence off ambition from your daily routine, you relegate it to a hobby, something you try on weekends between episodes of distraction. But your vision deserves more than weekend warrior status. It demands your blood, your sweat, your unrelenting attention. Let's dive into alliances. The submissive fear alliances. They whisper about betrayal, backstabbing, too risky. Wolves see alliances as force multipliers. They pursue tribes of equals and underdogs alike, forging bonds where shared hunger ensures loyalty. But here's the secret. Alliances are strategic, transactional. You offer value that aligns with your endgame, extract reciprocation that fuels your ascent, then recalibrate when the balance shifts. True power lies in making and unmaking alliances without remorse. Loyalty is currency, pay it sparingly. Think of historical wolves at the top of their game. Alexander the Great didn't conquer alone. He surrounded himself with generals and engineers who knew their expertise was best served by Alexander's triumph. But when generals plotted mutiny, he crushed them without hesitation. He rewarded ambition when it complemented his mission. He annihilated dissent when it threatened his dominion. That's the calculus you must adopt. Reward the fuel that drives your engine. Crush anything that jams it. Now, let's talk precision. Wolves don't spray bullets in the dark. They snap jaws on precise targets. They don't launch scattershot efforts across 10 arenas. They identify the one weakness in the enemy's armor and exploit it ruthlessly. Yet, you launch 100 projects a year, blogs, podcasts, side hustles, then wonder why none reach critical mass. Because you're spreading thin. To dominate, you must focus on the one domain where your impact will echo, where your expertise can become undeniable, where your reputation magnetizes opportunity. Finally, plan your succession. The parable of the aging wolf recalls the tragedy of empires that crumble when a single leader dies. Identify your heir, and yes, anointed successor doesn't have to be your blood. It's the one who embodies your principles, who has earned the right through trials, and who maintains the same unflinching gaze into adversity. Train them publicly, test them in simulations of crises, and then hand over visible authority in incremental stages. When the day comes that you step back, or are forced back, your empire endures because the transition was methodical, inevitable, and accepted by the pack. As you stand at the zenith, remember this: legacy is not trophies on a pedestal, but the unbroken chain of influence that persists long after your tenure. The wolf's howl echoes across generations. His dominion is felt in the rustle of every blade of grass within his realm. That is the testament you must aim for. So, here's your final reckoning. Will you settle for fleeting victories, token promotions, momentary applause? Or will you architect a dynasty of wolves, each a testament to your ferocity, each a node in your lattice of power? Will you anchor your legacy in unassailable infrastructures, perpetual renewal, uncompromising internal mastery, and strategic propagation? Look in the mirror one last time. Do you see a timid dog, tail tucked, eyes pleading? Or do you see the alpha, muscles coiled in purpose, eyes blazing with intent, posture that commands the world? That reflection is your verdict. It's time to claim it, not as a hope or a plan, but as an inevitable reality. This is where your journey culminates, not in a rage of isolated triumphs, but in the calm certainty of enduring dominion. The wolf does not announce his rule, he embodies it. His presence alone reshapes the pack's behavior. His silence carries weight. His restraint is the proof of his supremacy. Now go forth. Transform structure into empire, vision into dynasty, instinct into legacy. Let your life be the story that wolves tell their pups when the moon rises high, of the one who shattered every chain, conquered every fear, and rewrote the laws of power itself.